What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you a demo and a tutorial on how to create a chatbot that both makes reservations and bookings for restaurants and provides personalized recommendations for the customers. So for this example, I'm going to be using The Alchemist, and I've created this dummy landing page to show you guys how it looks both from the visual perspective and then from there I'm going to be showing you guys the backend inside Stack AI, which provides the recommendations, and then I'm going to show you the workflow inside Voiceflow, which provides everything with regards to the step-by-step that the user goes through, and then I'm going to be showing you guys the API connections that I'm making in order to make this all possible. Now, first things first, I'm going to be going through the actual chatbot and showing you how it works. So as you can see here, it will pop up telling you, this is the Alchemist web chat. How can I help you today? And you can click, I'd like to make a reservation. And then from there, it's going to ask for your full name. So I'm just going to put my name right here. And then it will also ask for an email for a confirmation. Okay, I'm just going to put a dummy email. And then from here, it's going to ask you a bunch of questions, such as, just the regular restaurant questions, like how many people are in your party, any dietary restrictions. So I'm just going to put none. And then what date and time are you looking to make your reservation? Now here you can actually just say something like next Thursday at 4 p.m. and it will understand exactly how to change that into a date time and get that into a booking, and I'll show you how I do that in the back end. Now we'll see here. Great, we have availability at that time and have booked you in for the 28th, which is next Thursday at 4 p.m. Do you have any other needs? Now I'm going to say I'd like to ask about the menu. Ask me anything about our food or drinks menu. Okay, so let's say, what would you recommend for a meat lover like me? Pause. And then we'll see what kind of response it gives you. Now this is now connecting to Stack AI in the back end. There we go. I would recommend the French dip steak sandwich, priced at $15.50. This sandwich features beef fillet, cheese sauce, and whatnot. And then I'm gonna say, okay, so do you have any steaks? I'm not really a fan of sandwiches. Do you have any steaks? There we go. It gives you the sirloin steak and the fillet steak, and then it will even tell you, what they're served with and the choice of sauces that you get. And then I can say something like, what drinks? Okay, what wine would you pair with the steak? And then it will tell you exactly which wine and why. So based on the provided options, you can consider pairing the steak with this garnacha from Spain, and it will tell you this can, the red berries and violet flavors will, complement the richness of the steak. And then it will tell you this other one here that you can pair and whatnot. Yeah, and then let's say and then you can say, what about the cocktails? What about pairing with the cocktails? And here we go. See here. It remembers you're talking about steak, and it will give you the exact cocktails and why. The tropical flavors can complement the richness of the steak. The citrusy flavors provide a nice contrast with the light bulb moment. And then for a more sophisticated and boozy pairing, you can use this one because this smoky old fashioned, because the smoky and rich flavors of this classic cocktail can complement the savory notes of the steak. And it'll tell you, remember, these are just suggestions. And yeah, fantastic. So this is literally gonna tell the user what they can get, how they can pair it with different drinks. It can give you all sorts of different recommendations. And if you're looking to create something like this for your own client or for your own restaurant, you can even add a service whereby they can actually decide what they want and send that to the kitchen, so that when they actually make the booking, you can, let's say for example, start preparing the food minutes before they're scheduled to arrive. That way the people that are coming into your restaurant or into your client's restaurant can pre-book, and then from there they're not waiting so long when they arrive to actually get their food. So that's just a quick demo of how this thing works. And now I'm going to go through the backend in Stack AI, Voiceflow, and then using this platform called Reservations, which is how I'm actually making these bookings. And I'll show you the booking in the backend as it's been processed. So here we've got Stack AI. Just wait for this to load. And it's very, very simple. All I've done is if you don't know what this workflow is, I suggest you watch my video on the information industry. I do an entire walkthrough of how to set this up and what all the different sections are. But here you can see what do you call it? You've got the input, you've got the documents and search, and inside the documents and search, I've actually uploaded the drinks menu and the regular menu. And here as usual, you've got the system prompt, and here I just tell it you're a helpful AI assistant. You help people book reservations and suggest food, drinks, and pairings. You work for the Alchemist Bar and Restaurant in London. Never refer to your knowledge base. You are the expert, so give your expert opinion and don't defer. And do not refer to the PDFs in your knowledge base in your responses. And then here is just the general. This is your brain, referring to the documents and search. And then answer the following question, which is the input. And then of course we've got the output. So from here, I'm going to be showing you guys the Voiceflow walkthrough. So obviously this is very simple. It's a very basic setup. There isn't even a vector store in there. It's just directly from documents and search into the large language model. Now here is where it gets a little bit tricky, because I've been working on this for the past few days, and it gets pretty complicated if you don't know what you're doing, and you'll see exactly why it took me a few days to actually get this done. So the workflow, as you can see from here and from what I've just shown you, it'll first ask you, hi, welcome to the Alchemist, how can I help you? If you'd like to make a reservation, you go straight through the reservation workflow. And if you want to inquire about the menu, it will take you to the menu recommendations tab of the workflow. And then it will say, ask me anything about the food and drinks. And then it will capture the user reply to, and then process all of that in Stack. And then if something goes wrong, you will just say, try again later. And then if it's successful, it posts the API response, and then it will create a continuous loop that allows it to actually retain the memory and create a conversational workflow, rather than just every time you ask a question, you basically have to start the context again. Now going back to the regular workflow, let's give it a second to load. So going back to the actual reservation workflow, I'm asking for the full name, then we're asking for the email, and here, just so that you guys understand, here we're capturing the email using the entity, using the capture entity method, which essentially allows you to collect the email, even if they put in a bunch of details like my email is, and then put the email, or my party size is, and then put the name, the number of the party size. This AI, when you put capture, rather than capturing the entire response, you can select the kind of response you want to pull, and that way, no matter what the user puts in, it will take the actual entity inside that text that you want to extract, and then it will extract that. And then from there, thank you, can you let me know how many people are in your party? It does the same thing with getting the number for the party size, and then you will capture the entire user reply to the restrictions, and then here you'll get the date and time. So from the date and time, this is extremely important. If you want to format your date and time correctly, this is extremely important, no matter what kind of appointment booking automation you're looking to make. So first of all, I connect to World Time API. Why? Because this is a free API, and I'll just go here, worldtimeapi.org. This is a free API that allows you to get today's date in specific time zones. So if you've got a time zone in, I don't know, if it's in America, it will pull the American time zone. If you're in the UK, it will pull the UK time zone. And the reason you have to do this is because AI, as far as ChatGPT and Claude, which are the two systems that are used in Voiceflow, They are absolutely horrendous at consistently being able to get today's date and being able to use that to reference the what the user is saying. So when the user says next Thursday at X time, it doesn't actually know today's date. So that means you're not going to be able to consistently book on the right day at the right time for these bookings. So first thing is, I pull the date time from here, and I'll show you what the API call looks like. So here, I literally just put world time API, time zone, Europe, London, and then I just capture the response date time and apply it to today's date. And next is, I get today's date, and then I go into the next block, which is the set AI block here. If you go to AI, there's the response AI, which just produces a response, and there's the set AI, which is where you can use the AI to set variables based on the user's input. So the prompt here is, today is this given date. Given today's date, which I've just provided it, return date, which is the variable that I'm setting, as BST date time in the following format. Year, month, date, hour, minute, which is what the API that I'm using to make these bookings accept, and I'll walk through all of that soon. So do not include any pretext such as here is next week Tuesday at 6 p.m. in the format you requested, essentially telling it you just want the text, nothing else. Also, make sure that you set the prompt settings to Claude 2. Do not use ChatGPT Turbo 3.5. It is inconsistent. Do not use Claude 1. Do not use Claude 1.2. I've tested them out. That's why it was failing for so long. Use Claude 2. It's the only one that consistently produces the date time in the formats that you want. Now, you've got the date time. You then want to separate it into date and time. So when you get the date time variable, actually, let me run it just so that you guys see what it's like. So this is the variable that I get returned from the world time API. And then what the user says is going to be next Thursday at 6 p.m. So this is the kind of response that it will give you when you generate it. Here we go. It will give you the date and it will give you the time. Nothing else, no pretext, nothing else. And then from there, you want to separate the date and time. So then I also add the set AI variable date1 to only return the date. And then we can see here. And again, the same thing is do not include any pretext. Use Claude 2, set the temperature to 0, provide that. Now we've got the output that we're expecting from the date time variable. And then here you only get the date return, which is exactly what we're looking for. And the same thing when we're looking at time, it's only going to produce the time. So here we've got the date and the time. So what we want here is just the 6 o'clock. So we generate that. Let's give it a second. And here we go. We only have 6 o'clock returned. And that's going to be our timestamp variable. Now here, it's just going to say, let me check our availability. And then this is where it gets good. So this is the API that I'm using. It's called Resos. I don't mind showing you guys the authentication token only because I am going to be deleting it straight after this video. So don't even bother trying. So I'm going to walk you guys through ResOS, which is the restaurant operating system, as you can tell from the ResOS. So I'm just going to log in here. So first thing I'm going to show you is the booking that I just made in the demo on the website. And then I'm going to walk you through how to do it yourself. So here you can see I've run a few tests, but here to Tenderk 12 minutes ago, he's just made this booking for Thursday 20th of September. There we go. So here, table 1, you can see is for 6 to 20 people, so it's automatically set the table for the right number of people. And yeah, as you can see, it's got all the details that you need that I've put into the chatbot. And you can also automatically send confirmation emails for free via this operating system. So I'm going to just discard these changes just so that I don't have to add anything here. So here, as you can see, I've run a few tests. But yeah, here, this is the booking. Absolutely fantastic. Now I'm going to show you guys how you can set up the API for ResOS. It is free for 30 days. So if you guys want to produce prototypes for your prospects or for your potential clients, all you need to do is go down to apps, go down here inside apps and features, and you'll find the API. All you need to do is configure that API, and then the next thing you want to do is inside the settings. First of all, you want to set your opening hours. And then second of all, you want to set your tables. So you have to say, okay, we've got this many tables, they sit this many people, this is the areas where the tables are. And then you can even add things like, do you want a window seat? Do you want a, I don't know, do you want a seat in the middle? Whatever the case might be. These are all things you can add on top of this. So if we go into tables, you'll see that I've just added, 3 tables, bookable by staff and online. And then going back to settings, if you go over to the API credentials, you can then just generate your API credentials in here. Just click generate key, it will generate you a new key. But here's the thing, you can't just take this key and copy and paste it into the authorization here. What you have to do is you have to base64 encode the API key. And then from here, what you want to do is you want to copy and paste this API key that you get inside ResOS. And then the output that you get after you've encoded it is what you're going to be using here. And then you just add the word basic, add a space, and then you copy and paste the output from the base64 encoder. Now, if you guys want to know exactly how to do all of this, and if you encounter any issues, all you need to do is go to the ResOS API documentation, and it will walk you through all of these different things, as well as what the different error codes mean, and how to actually structure the API calls from Voiceflow. So as you can see here, you get the authentication. It'll tell you exactly how to do it. It'll tell you about the base64 encoding, and then you get the status codes for your API responses. And then from there, I'm going to be showing you guys how exactly you can structure your API call. So to make this super simple, all you really need to do is go down to, if we just let this load a second, what you need to do is go down to, actually we'll just use this one, where it says bookings here, where it says create a booking. What you want to do is copy and paste this entire thing. Now, this is purely because it needs all of these different inputs in order for it to actually run. But what you can do, as you can see, essentially what I've done is I've copied and pasted all of this, pasted it into the body section, and as you can see here, where it says body here is what you're copying into here in the raw format. And then you're going to input these specific inputs. So you want all of this in string. And when I say string, it just means with quotation marks around it, because that takes it as a word or as a sentence rather than as a number or whatever the case might be. And so for date, you want to add the date variable, and as you can see here, that's the date that I've set over here. Then time, as I showed you before, is timestamp. People, which is the number of people you're going to be booking for. I put party underscore size 1, which is the party size that you get from the input from the user. And notice I haven't put any speech marks around it because this is an integer. If you put speech marks around an integer or a number, it will take it as a string, and the error code will come up and it will not process your booking. So make sure there's no quote marks around it. And then duration is just how long the booking's for. So let's say you have 5 people all booking for the same time slot. If there's not enough space for everybody in that duration to actually get a time slot, it will automatically reject the booking. And then from here, you can leave opening hour ID and tables and area ID and metadata all the same. It doesn't change anything with regards to the booking that you'll be executing. And then here for guest, this is the guest details. You're going to change the name to full name, which is the name of the variable that I set inside over here. As you can see, it's capturing the full name. And then email 1, capturing the email 1. And then you can set notifications for the SMS or email. And obviously I haven't collected the customer's phone number, but you can also do that. And if you set notification email to true, it will automatically send a confirmation email to the email of the user as soon as it's booked. And then here, this isn't too important as far as the source, the status. Comment, you can add something. So one thing I didn't add here is, something like, is it a special occasion? If they say, oh yeah, it's my birthday, or somebody's birthday, that you can actually add that into the workflow, and then create a variable that essentially says, special occasion or extra comment, and then you can do the same thing as I've done with all these different variables inside comment. And then note, we've got restrictions, which sends a message to the kitchen letting them know that there are these dietary restrictions. And then the note author, which is the person who wrote the note, is going to be the full name again. Now for referrer and language code EN, again, you can leave it all the same. If you have any issues with this, just drop me a message. I've got my socials all links below. So if you have any issues with this, just drop me a message and I'll happily help you out. So here is how you essentially send the request. And as I showed you before, actually, I haven't showed you how to get the link. So here, you've actually got the link for the booking right here. So to create a booking, you use this URL, you paste it into the API URL here. You make sure that you select post, because as you can see here, this is a post URL. And then from there, you want to add in the header authorization and content type, and then you just want to put an application/JSON, which is going to be the same type thing every time. And as you've seen before, I've shown you how you can get the API key. So I'm just going to do a quick demo here. You can just copy this API key here, go over to the base 64 encoder, encode that, and then there we go. All you want to do is copy and paste this. You then copy and paste this, go over to the restaurant booking page, or restaurant booking workflow, add the word basic, put a space in, and then copy and paste your newly formatted API key. It will not work if you just try and copy and paste directly from ResOS. So let me just close this. And then from there, as usual, if there's nothing that the person wants, it will directly go to, glad I could help, goodbye. And then obviously, as I've shown you before, if they want any menu recommendations, it will go directly to the menu recommendations. And if the person on the website doesn't want any kind of booking, they just want to inquire about the menu, it will go directly to menu recommendations, and then they can ask anything they want about the menu, about the drinks, all of that. Now, I hope this has been super useful for you guys who are looking for a restaurant booking and a recommendation AI chatbot. I'm 99% sure nobody has put out content on how to integrate all of this with Stack AI and Voiceflow, and I know for a fact nobody's put out a tutorial on how to use the ResOS API. So if this has been useful to you, if you're going to be using this for your client or for your prospects or in your own AI agency or restaurant, give this video a like, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment about how this helped you, and also let me know what kind of use cases you would like a video on, because I read all of my comments, and if it's a good idea or if I feel like it'd be useful for more than just yourself, I will create a video on it. In fact, this video itself was inspired by a suggestion that one of the people that I'm teaching AI asked for. So, like I said, leave a like, leave a comment, contact me on socials. And if you're looking to get your own AI automation built for your business, reach out to me or go to scalemybiz.ai and book a free consultation whereby you might actually qualify for a free prototype. That means we will create an entire AI automation system for your business so that you can see how valuable it is before you pay a single penny. Sounds good, right? And if you're looking for improve your own workflow for your AI automation agency or improve your delivery to your clients, give me a shout on my socials, as I've said, links below, or leave a comment and I will be happy to help you out. It's been TJ AI. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.